This is mine and Emma's skit for the time traveler, and
we're doing the scene where they lose Weena in the forest fire, and she supposedly, dies, and it's crazy chaos the whole time, and just everything's just blowing up.
So enjoy.
I pushed on grimly. The pattering grew more distant, and then I caught the same queer sounds and voices I heard in the underworld. They were eventually several of the Murlocs, and they were closing in upon me. Indeed, in another minute, I felt a tug at my coat, then something at my arm, and Weena shivered violently and became quite still. It was time for a match, but I had one. I must put her down. Two were creeping over my coat and back, touching even my neck. Then the match scratched and fizzed. I held it flaring and saw the white backs of the Murlocs in flight above the trees. I hastily took a lump as soon as the match should wane. Then I looked at Weena. She was lying clutching my feet and quite motionless with her face to the ground. With a sudden fright, I stooped to her and seemed scarcely to breathe, she did. I lit the block of camphor and flung it to the ground. And as I split and flared up and dove back the Murlocs in the shadows, I knelt down and lifted her. The wood behind seemed full of the stir and murmur of great company. She seemed to have fainted. I put her carefully on my shoulder and rose to push on, and there came a horrible realization. In maneuvering with my matches and Weena, I turned myself about several times, and now I had not the faintest idea in which direction lay my path. For all I knew, I might be facing back towards the Palace of the Green Porcelain. I found myself in a cold sweat. And as I did so, two more white forms had been approaching Weena, dashed hastily away. One was so blinded by the light that he came straight for me. I felt his bones grind under the blow of my fist. He gave a whoop of dismay and staggered a little away and fell down. I lit another piece of camphor and went on gathering my bonfire. Presently, I noticed how dry and some of the foliage was above me. Since my arrival on a time machine, a matter of a week, no rain had fallen. So I economized my camphor. Then I turned to where Weena lay beside my iron mace. I tried what I could to revive her. She lay like one dead. I could not even satisfy myself whether or not she breathed. Now the smoke of the fire beat towards me, and it must have made me heavy as sudden. Moreover, the vapor of camphor was in the air. The fire need not replenish for an hour or so. I felt very weary after my exertion and sat down. The wood, too, was full of the slumberous murmur that I did not understand. I seemed just to nod and open my eyes, but it was dark, and the Murlocs had their hands upon me. Death came over my soul. The forest seemed full of the smell of burning wood, and I caught by my neck, by my hair, by my arms, and pulled down. I was overpowered and went down. I felt little teeth nipping at my neck. I rolled over, and as I did so, my hand came against my iron lever. It gave me strength. I struggled up. The strange exhilaration that so often seems to accompany hard fighting came upon me. I knew that both I and Weena were lost, but I determined to make the Morlocks pay for their meat. I stood with my back to a tree, swinging the iron bar before me. The whole wood was full of the stir and cries of them. A minute passed. Their voices seemed to rise to a higher pitch of excitement, and their movements grew faster. Yet none of them came within my reach. I kept glaring at the blackness, then suddenly came hope. I thought the Murlocs were afraid. And close. On the heels of that came a strange thing. The darkness seemed very luminous. Very dimly I began to see the Morlocks about me. Three battered at my feet, and then I recognized with incredulous surprise that the others were running in an incandescent stream as it seemed from behind me and away through the wooden front. And the back seemed no longer white, but reddish. I stood again. I saw little red spark branches and vanish. And at that I understood the slumberous that was growing now into dusty roar, the red glow, and the Murloc flight.
We hope that you enjoyed our skit, and this is the bloopers
and the aftermath of all the filming.
enjoy.
Enjoy.
How was the adventure?
I liked it. I thought it went really well. How did you feel?
I think we captured the part of the Morlocks more than anybody ever could have.
Right. And I think that instead of just doing a skit, we should be assigned to do a movie and just have us as the Morlocks the whole time.
We should get paid for this.
We should get paid for this.
We should.
Do you think that your moaning made you realistic?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole part of being Morlocks, because we're so good at it.
Yeah, you can't just be quiet and be a Morlock though.
Yeah.
It's the time. I did think the moaning added a lot to it. Yeah, I did.
Do you think there is going to be a number 2 movie to this?
Well, I have a question for you, Mr. Talk Show host. Based on our performance, do you feel that there should be a number 2, a sequel to this?
Yes.
Whoa! I thought that as well. I thought it was personally brilliant, and that there should be no question on whether or not we should continue this.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, have a nice day, ladies.
Women.
We, the night is on fire!